Normally at this time, I would turn it over to my handsome assistants and instead your handsome pastor will yeah, begin by saying, Memorial Day is a holiday. Like I say, it used to be called Remembrance Day. And I know we say this often, um, but remember, only 3% of our population ever enters the military, and only 5% of the 3% ever see combat. And so we said that out of 2,000 people, um, three would see combat. So as you're watching um, what's going on, as you're watching the, uh, we're going to have a lot of videos today because, you know, this is an emotional day for me. You know, I lost a lot of friends. Uh, and so we told the people at the storehouse one day this week, it upsets me when people don't vote because I saw the price that was paid, so that we could have the privilege of eating hot dogs and hamburgers. But most of all, not voting is voting, people. And said to somebody this week, they said, well, all the candidates are flawed. And I said, of course they are. I'm not running. Yeah. If I was running, there would be a perfect candidate. There is no perfect candidate, not this side of the kingdom. However, I believe Daniel when he says he puts in and takes out. I don't have to agree with God. At least maybe you're different. He's never asked me for my opinion. you know, he's going to do it his way. Him and Frank Sinatra, going to do it my way. So today, I want us to remember uh, those who gave the ultimate sacrifice so that all this weekend, I was talking to somebody, they're in ministry, and they're supposed to be distributing food today, but they're not distributing food in honor of the holiday. I said, the holiday is not till Monday. They said, well, we have to take the day off sometime. We don't distribute on Monday. We distribute, so we're going to celebrate it. Missing the whole point. The whole point is we are here in church because somebody paid the price. And I had somebody tell me we're not free. Uh, they've never been out of this country, evidently. I said, been around the world, and there's no place like home. We live in the best country, and they say that's arrogant. It's not arrogant, it's true. We live in the greatest country on this earth. When people are in need, we're there. When people need defense, we're there. I believe it was William Booth, founder of the Salvation Army, who said, America is great because America is good. And when America ceases to be good, she will cease to be great. We're at a breaking point. Jesus is coming, people. But I want us today to remember you have a privilege. What a privilege you have of saying, you know, Muhammad Ali said, bragging ain't bragging if it's true. You know, you live in the greatest country on this planet. And it's because some people were willing to pay the highest price. Let's start with the first. And you know what? Go right from the first into, I will say, one of my favorite presidents, Ronald Reagan. So we'll go right into that one if possible. If it's not possible, still do it.
Some time back, I received in the name of our country the bodies of 4 Marines who had died while on active duty. I said then that there is a special sadness that accompanies the death of a serviceman, for we're never quite good enough to them. Not really, we can't be, because what they gave us is beyond our powers to repay. And so when a serviceman dies, it's a tear in the fabric, a break in the whole, and all we can do is remember. It is, in a way, an odd thing to honor those who died in defense of our country, in defense of us, in wars far away. The imagination plays a trick. We see these soldiers in our mind as old and wise. We see them as something like the founding fathers, grave and gray-haired. But most of them were boys when they died, and they gave up 2 lives, the one they were living and the one they would have lived. When they died, they gave up their chance to be husbands and fathers and grandfathers. They gave up their chance to be revered old men. They gave up everything for our country, for us. We owe them a debt we can never repay. All we can do is remember them and what they did and why they had to be brave for us.
It's something I don't do, as you know. We've said before, I don't do reunions. You know, uh, My belief is, at least for me, I guess my daddy taught me this. Once it's over, it's over. You thank God for it. You don't need to go back and relive it. Uh, I prefer, for me, to keep, as Paul said, forgetting those things that are past. I press toward them. It doesn't mean it didn't happen. Trust me, you are what you are because of your past. But people, you can either be persistent in moving forward or be paralyzed and live in your past. I thank God for everything that has happened. And I think of people, and God, one of the reasons is maybe we don't want to remember, or we don't want to remember some of the things. I do remember the good times we had. Yeah. I remember some of the things we did in combat that seemed crazy. Uh, if you've never dropped an anvil off an aircraft carrier into a Chinese junk, you find out why they call them junk. Because an anvil from 85 feet up goes right through, and the boat no longer sails. Yeah. And you say, that's people, it's fun. Yeah. Yeah. If you've never strapped something, we used to have what they called the alert cap, carrier air protection, which means a plane is always sitting on the catapult, and it's always has a weapon on it, so that should you need to, in a matter of seconds, it can be off the deck and ready to be used. If you've never taken a can, strapped it to the bottom of a plane and put Christmas lights around it, and had a Russian bear, not bear, but the plane, a Russian bear, fly by, and they used to fly by all the time. And that you could see in their gun turrets people taking pictures. I'm wondering if Putin is still trying to figure out what kind of a weapon that was. People, see, they're the things I remember. These things that we're looking at today, like I say, they get emotional for me, because there was a fellow that worked for me, and God saved me from having to reunite with him. Um, but one day, I told you, at the storehouse, one day a gentleman comes in, and he says, because I said I was in Vietnam and I was on a carrier, and he said, "What carrier were you on?" I said, "The Ranger." He said, "Oh, my brother was on the Ranger." Well, we had 5,400 men on the Ranger. One of the guys I went to high school with was on the Ranger for a while, and we couldn't find each other. Actually, we tried to get up with each other because we knew we were both there. Finally, I wrote him a letter, so it took 6 days to go from the carrier to San Francisco, and then 6 days from San Francisco back to the carrier with a map on how to find me. Yeah. And we got together. So just because he said his brother was on the aircraft carrier, you know, that's didn't mean a whole lot. So he said, "Really?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "When was he on the carrier?" He said, "Well, he got on the carrier in January of '68." I said, "Oh, really? I was on the carrier January of '68." I said, "What did he do?" He said he worked on the flight deck. I said, oh, really? I worked on the flight deck. He said, I said, what did he do? He said he ran a TV station that recorded all the launches and recoveries. I said, wait a second. I worked at a TV station. Actually, I was in charge of the night shift. It was everybody over there had more than one job. That was one of the jobs. And I said, what was his name? And he told me his name. I said, he worked for me. Treated him like he was a Christian. And I went to church as a youth. But one thing I was not, well, two things. I was not kind. And even though I went to church, it was not a, people, just because you're here, it doesn't make you a Christian. No more than sitting in a garage makes you a car. You know. So he told me his name. I said, I'd like to apologize to him for the way, you know, some of the things we did. Christians were not treated well. If you've ever seen Hacksaw Ridge, Desmond Doss, Christians were not treated well in the military most of the time. At least enlisted. I don't know what they did as officers. I said, get me his number. He said, well, I haven't spoken to him for probably 4 or 5 years. So the next time the guy came to the storehouse, I said, did you get in touch with him? He said, I got in touch with my brother. And Miller died last year from Agent Orange. And I thought to myself, that's sad, but God protected me from going back to a place. Reunions aren't always good. And that's why I guess this next song, I know you may get tired of seeing it because we do it every Memorial Day. And I guess as long as I'm here, we're going to keep doing it every Memorial Day because it reminds me of Miller. And I would have liked to look him up. And you make, I tell you, I know some of you love reunions. And to be kind, sometimes I'll say to people, yeah, we'll have to get together. Yeah. I don't want to go back. I don't want reunions. I'm more like the Apostle Paul. Don't ask me a question you don't want answered. You're going to get the truth. And in this song, if you've ever seen, some of you, let me talk to old people. Remember the show, The Virginian? This fella who wrote this song was in that TV show, but he was also a Vietnam vet. And he wrote this song and he performs it himself. And it's called Don't Forget to Look Me Up After the War. You'll get the lights.
My name is Billy Johnson, Indiana's my state. I turned 21 back in 68, drafted into the Army, sent to Fort Leonard Wood. When I left my hometown, I prayed it wasn't for good. His name was Hector Gonzalez from San Jose. We got stuck with KP the very first day, and after peeling potatoes for hours on end, Hector and I were the closest of friends. When they put us on a troop jet and flew us to Nam, some guy stood up in the back and read the 23rd Psalm. We talked about walking through that valley of death. I said, Hector, I'm scared. He said, just take a deep breath. When we got off the plane and our assignments came in, I got sent to play coup, he got sent to Long Bend. He hugged me goodbye and turned around at the door, and he said, don't forget to look me up after the war. About 3 months later, he wrote me a letter saying some days are rough and some days are better. And a kid named Gilardo we knew from basic training was missing in action up north. By the way, I meant what I said before. Don't forget to look me up after the war. I was out on patrol in the spring of '69. I stepped on a tripwire, took some shrapnel from a mine, spent the rest of my tour in a hospital bed with a pin in my leg and a plate in my head. And on the plane ride home, I thought of all I'd been through. I'd lived 9 lives and I was just 22. And I thought about Hector and what I'd promised before, and I planned to look him up right after the war. 21 years later in Washington, D.C., I was there on vacation with my family. I went out to the park to see that wall and face up to a past I didn't want to recall. First I looked for that guy that Hector wrote me about, but he wasn't on the list. I guess he lucked out. Then my eye caught a name at the top of the page. Corporal Hector Gonzalez, 21 years of age. My throat got tight, my mouth went dry. I looked up at that wall and I started to cry. And the memories hit me like incoming fire from a time when we were so young. Hector waved at me from the door and he said, don't forget to look me up after the war. I lay awake some nights, I can still hear the guns, still hear the screams, and I can still taste the blood. I can still see Hector waving goodbye from the door, saying, don't forget to look me up after the war.
If you've ever been to a military funeral and you wonder why, you know, They play taps and then they fire 21 guns. The purpose of it, we say it's an honor. The purpose of it is biblical because at some point we're going to hear, "Well done, thou good and faithful servant." And the 21 guns, they call it a 21 gun salute. That means acceptable, you're accepted, and it means job well done. If we can play 21 guns,
Standing in this field of limestone, watching flags wave in the air. You know we'd love to take you back home, but there ain't no place like this there. A preacher stammers through a nice verse, does his best to eulogize, but times like this there ain't no right words. The rifle's firing, your life flashes right before my eyes. I don't need no one to tell me you're a hero. Hell, I've known that ever since you were young. And there ain't words to say how proud we all are of you, son. Nothing says job well done like 21 guns. They dressed you up in your best uniform and pinned your medals on your chest. That folded flag they gave you, Mama, seemed to say, we all know that you did your best. I don't need no one to tell me you're a hero. Hell, I've known that ever since you were young. There ain't words to say how proud we all are of you, son. Nothing says job well done like 21 guns.
I ran into a guy at Costco one day. Uh, he had his Vietnam veteran hat on. And I always, first thing I always tell them is, welcome home. you know, and then I'll say to them, when were you there? Sometimes I'll ask them, where were you? What did you do? And he said, well, I didn't do much. I said, well, there's no such thing as not doing much. Like I told you, 3 out of 2,000 actually see combat. Uh, I said, so what was your job? He said, well, I would take the men out of body bags and put them in the metal coffins to send them home. I said, what a privilege. What a privilege that you would, if you ever ship something, it gets beaten up. I can remember getting a care package I didn't get the care package. I got the paper. Yeah. I knew it was a care package because I could smell the prevalent oil from the provolone cheese on the paper. Yeah. And I knew it was a care package because of the price of the postage. So when something is sent, it isn't always handled with care. What a privilege for somebody to take the care and handle somebody's final flight home. Yeah. With dignity. That's why there's another song we play every year, because it's not just the person that took them out of the bag and put them in the metal box. They still had to get home. And so every year, you think about this. Well, I didn't do much. I just flew bodies home. What a privilege. Yeah. What a privilege to transport somebody's loved one. So I want us to watch Angel Flight.
Andrews Tower, good morning. Angel Flight Bravo 02 ready for takeoff. Angel Flight Bravo 02, you're number 1 for takeoff. Runway 25, get them home, boys.
All I ever wanted to do was fly, leave this world and live in the sky. I left the C-130 out of Fort Worth town. I go up some days, I don't wanna come down. Well, I fly that plane, call the Angel Flight. Come on, brother, you're with me tonight. Between heaven and earth, you're never alone. On the Angel Flight, come on, brother, I'm taking you home. I love my family and I love this land, but tonight this flight's for another man. We do what we do 'cause we heard the call. Some gave a little, but he gave it all. I fly that plane, call the Angel Flight. And come on, brother, you're with me tonight. Brother, you're with me tonight. Between heaven and earth, you're never alone. On the Angel Flight, come on, brother, I'm taking you home. Come on, brother, I'm taking you home. carpet's quiet and the stars are bright. Feels kinda like church in here tonight. It don't matter where we touch down. On the angel flight, it's sacred ground. When I fly that plane, call the angel flight. Got a hero riding with us tonight. Between heaven and earth, you're never alone. On the angel flight, come on, brother, I'm taking you home. Come on, brother, I'm taking you home. Come on, brother, I'm taking you home. Come on, brother, I'm taking you home.
Carswell Tower, good afternoon. Angel Flight Bravo 02, security on 5 miles. Angel Flight Bravo 02, you're number 1 for landing. Welcome home.
You know, at the end of the service, we'll see the cost of freedom that we take so casually, you know. And somebody said to me a couple years ago, they said, I felt good till I came to church, you know, and we had uh, people, this should make you feel good. Like General Patton said, you thank God such people lived so that tomorrow or the next day, I want you to enjoy that hot dog or hamburger more than you ever have in your life because there's a bumper sticker that I saw that said only two people pay the highest price so that you can live free. And that's Jesus Christ and the American soldier. So, people, if somebody pays a high price, you thank them for it. Yeah, thank you. How do you thank somebody? By enjoying it. See, as Americans, most of us think something like this. Oh, you shouldn't have. Oh, I can't take that. Learn how to say thank you. Just learn how to say thank you. And my mother in law sometimes used to ask, well, what do you want to do? You know, I thought, like when you grow up. Uh, and I said, I just want to live until I die. Too many people stop living before they stop living. Let me tell you something. There used to be a commercial, you only go around once, so grab for all the gusto you can get. Uh, Aaron said he was out of town a week or so ago. So was I. And you know the thing? Yeah, I see doctors. I tell people all the names of my little black book now end in MD, and the only question because Kay goes with me so she can ask questions, because they'll say to me, how are you doing? Fine. I'm vertical and ventilating. I'm fine. You know, I only ask one question. Can I still ride roller coasters? Yeah. So last week before last, the other day, yeah, I did Tron. Yeah. I did Everest. You know, people, I just want to live until I die. And I want to do it in honor of those who paid the. Could you imagine? Let me tell you something. Most Christians go around like somebody just took their sins away and now they're sorry they can't get them back. Yeah. If you smile, it will increase your face value. Yeah. Jesus paid a price. I believe the way he put it is, when I set you free, you're free indeed. The American military says, I paid a price. You know? Enjoy it. Please enjoy it. The worst thing you can do is say, oh no, I can't enjoy this holiday. Think of what that would do. And we think of, what's the price? Well, it wasn't a war. I know they called it a war. It was the Vietnam conflict. At the time this next song we're going to watch was written, there was only 50,000 names on that wall. Today there are over 58,000 names, because there are those of us that are still dying because of, just like the burn pits in Afghanistan and Iraq, just like the people from the Twin Towers. It doesn't end there. When we were in Lynchburg, one Easter, we took out a full page ad, and that was back in the day when they had newspapers, and you didn't get everything online. We took a full page out, and all it was a cross, and it said, the story doesn't end here. Love wants you to live. People don't have it that these men died in vain. They gave their life so that you could live. And Jesus said, I didn't just give my life so you could live. I gave my life so you could live not abundantly, more abundantly. More abundantly. Yeah, that's better than most people. So when you eat that hot dog, veggie dog, yeah, you enjoy it because somebody paid the price. How many? At the end, you'll see thousands and thousands. But just in that one little conflict, I say little. I say little now because I'm here, not there. It wasn't little when you're there. Uh, it's like Paul said, we had no small discussion. There's no such thing as small conflicts. But George Jones sang a song, 50,000 names on. I don't know if you've ever been to the wall. When I moved to Fredericksburg, somebody I didn't know but became, I believe, a close friend. He's passed now from the effects of Vietnam. And that's what killed him years later. He said, how long are you going to be here? I said, I don't know. He said, what do you expect to do? I said, I expect to do two things. God sent me here to do two things. One is to go to the wall. Because see, I was down in Norfolk, which is, I could justify not going. That's 3 hours, 3 to 4 hours. And then they had the traveling wall. that came to Norfolk, and I made sure I was busy the day that came. And so I said, one was to go to the wall. Person was not a Christian. I said, two was to baptize you. And I used to tease him all the time. He'd say, you want to go fishing? I'd say, well, I'll push you out of the boat, and on your way down, I'm going to say, in the name of the Father, Son. Yeah. But Carol was there the night. That person, we were having a prayer meeting, and he came in crying, accepted Jesus Christ as his personal Savior. Not because of me, because he did it in a dog pen. He went out to clean up the dog mess, and the Holy Spirit got a hold of him before he cleaned up the dog mess. And he fell on his knees in that dog pen and gave his heart to Jesus. A few weeks later, he showed up at church and said, I want you to baptize me today. And we did. Yeah. Not at church. Yeah. He said, get in the car, get in the truck. I want to show you where you're going to do it. Okay. I'm telling you, people, a high price was paid. And George Jones sings about, we don't think about not just those that are gone, but those that are left behind. I did finally get to the wall. I think it was, let's see, I think 2002. We used to do something called Crossroads Rally. Where on Memorial Day weekend, we would put up a big tent and we'd ride our motorcycles. And then Sunday morning, if you've ever heard of Rolling Thunder, we'd meet wherever it was and would ride up, and we'd ride in the parade. And when they'd turn to go to the wall, I'd turn the opposite way and come home. Well, you get up there and you're with 200,000 of your closest friends. And we were there, we'd get there, we'd leave here about 5 in the morning. So we'd get there early because it doesn't start till noon. And I was up there one day with my daughter was riding, my son, a bunch of us were riding. And she said, look, we have several hours. Let's take a walk. I said, okay. Yeah. Now, Kay tells me all the time, stop looking down. I said, well, how am I going to find money if I'm not looking down? Yeah. So I'm not watching where I'm going. I'm just, and my daughter we walked over to the wall and just stood there. I said, we've got to get out of here. I've been here long enough. Yeah. Didn't do any looking up or anything like that. I'm kicking these boots. I want to respect them. And so I thought, my friend came to Christ, baptized, and I got to the wall. The end must be near. Yeah. But it wasn't yet. Did one more trip up there where we did go to, I think Kay was with us. The year we got I went up, and my best friend from Josh, I still have it at home, went up and did the rubbing and got his name. Yeah. I'm telling you, 50,000, this says 50,000, 58,000 plus people died so you could have a hot dog. Enjoy it, people. I'm telling you, I know my buddy Dennis, if it was reversed, he'd be enjoying his hot dog. That's what they would want to do. I think Ronald Reagan said it at the beginning. Two lives, the life they were living and the one they never got to live. So remember, because you don't get over things, you get through things. If you notice in the Bible, they didn't get over the storm, they went through the storm. And Jesus can calm it. But George Jones, 50,000 names upon the wall.
There's teddy bears and high school rings and old photographs that mamas bring. The daddies with their young boys playing ball. There's combat boots that he used to wear when he was sent over there. There's 50,000 names carved in the wall. There's cigarettes and there's cans of beer and notes that say I miss you, dear, and children who don't say anything at all. There's Purple Hearts and packs of gum, fatherless daughters and fatherless sons, and there's 50,000 names carved in the wall. They come from all across this land in pickup trucks and minivans, searching for a boy from long ago. They scan the wall and find his name. The teardrops fall like pouring rain, and silently they leave a gift and go. There's stars of David and rosary beads and crucifixion figurines and flowers of all colors, large and small. There's a Boy Scout badge and a merit pin, little American flags waving in the wind, and there's 50,000 names carved in the wall. There's 50,000 names carved in the wall.
So enjoy. However, don't ever think it was free. Even salvation isn't free. Somebody paid the price. A preacher once told me years ago. If you're getting something for nothing, somebody's getting nothing for something. Somebody pays the price. And I think of what the price is and how casually you take it. Why do I love Jesus so much? Maybe because I've seen sacrifice. Maybe because I know what it is to have to stand there and make a decision that think about this. Jesus hanging on the cross was one thing, but he knew the price of his decision. I think the way he put it is if they hated me, they're going to hate you. People, things haven't changed. Don't ever think that it's going to get easier. Here's one thing I tell people all the time: everything I needed to know about ministry, I learned in combat. You know, uh, the most dangerous time in combat is your first 30 days and your last 30 days because your mind begins to wander. You don't know what you're doing the first 30 days. The last 30 days, you actually think you do know what you're doing. And you know what? I'm going to be fine. I can do that. I can remember a chief telling one of my shipmates one time who was extended 30 days never killed anybody. He didn't make it home. Uh, it's dangerous spiritually because we get so heavenly minded that we're no earthly good. People, if you've never been there, I know you don't know what it's like. If you have been there, you know what it's like knowing you're going to be leaving a combat zone. So don't lose your focus. I know Jesus is coming soon, but let me tell you, as long as I'm here, uh, I'm not going to lose my focus. My business cards uh, used to say, called to get God's people out of here alive. You know, because that's what I used to tell the people who worked for me. If you listen to me, I'll get you out of here alive. If you don't listen to me, I'll kill you myself. That sounds dumb, but that's what God says. I didn't know it at the time. I didn't realize I was quoting God at the time. He says, if you listen to me, I'll get you out of here alive. He says, then we who are alive and remain shall be caught up. I'll get you out of here alive. If you don't, there's a smoking section. It says they'll pray for the rocks to fall on them. First 30 days, last 30 days. People, we are we're not in the end of time, we're in the end of time. And there are several things we could go through. We've said them before. When you see, Jesus says, when you see this, know my coming is at hand. When you see this, know my coming is at hand. When you see this, know my coming is at hand. You know, like Ed showed me a picture. You can do Google Earth. Jesus says, when you see the river Euphrates dry up, know my coming is at hand. You can do Google Earth. The river Euphrates is dried up. Now, what is at hand? All I know is When I left, I thought I was leaving, and we actually got shot off the carrier. Experienced, I love. Yeah, there's no roller coaster that can compare, even with two loops. Yeah, and we were on our way out of there, and something went wrong, and we had to circle around and come back. So just cause it's close doesn't mean it happened. Now the plane had a problem, just like the church has a problem. And after they said they fixed the plane, they said, "Are you willing to get back on it?" Not everybody got back on it. Some said it wasn't working the first time. And remember, you heard Ronald Reagan say, these are just kids working on these planes, 18 to 22 years old. Yeah, kids, yeah, like a high school mechanics course. And they're working on the planes. And I'm saying, I'm getting on the plane. And they did fix it for us to get off, but it wasn't fixed. Yeah. Because when we got over the Philippines, they couldn't get the landing gear down. And so they foamed the runway. Yeah. I'm telling you, it's not easy to get out of a combat zone. But there was a way out of there, and I'm taking it. There is a way out of here. I'm taking it, people. Jesus said, I am the way. And look, the church, I almost said, may not be perfect. It is not perfect. But I don't care if they have to foam the runway. I don't care what happens. I'm leaving. Yeah. I'm leaving. I know where I'm going to spend eternity because somebody paid the price. You get to celebrate this coming weekend because somebody paid the price. And it would be a slap in the face of God if you didn't accept. Think about that. All expense paid trip to eternity. And you say, no, no. See, to us, just another day off, day to have a picnic. For me, it's different because I didn't hear about the price paid. You know, there's a difference about hearing about it and see, Ed and I can tell you what it was like when we designed our own ride, but there was nothing like actually taking it. Even the people running the ride tried to warn us. You know, do you know what you're doing? No, we don't know what we're doing. For goodness sake, just like if I knew what I was doing, I may not have volunteered for some. I didn't volunteer. Here's the way you volunteer in the military. I believe there's a text in the Bible that does the same thing. For I know the plans that I have for you. Because they'd say we need 3 volunteers, you, and you. In other words, the captain knows. He already knew who he was going to pick before he lined 20 people up. Yeah. You have been hand picked to be here today because God wants you to know that the price that has been paid is more than just those 50,000 names. Calvary I don't know if you realize this, was somebody's son. It wasn't just the name, Yeshua, Jesus, whatever. It was somebody's son. And as much as we may think of it, think about what the parent was going through. And referring back to the 21 guns, nothing says well done to a military person than 21 guns. I believe the 21 guns at Calvary was, Father, forgive them. I mean, that's what it was all about. I'm going to read it from the Gospel according to Chuck. Father, forgive them because they're too dumb to even realize what they're doing. I already told them, I know, Rocky, forgive me. It's not good English. They ain't gonna understand. I already told them I ain't going nowhere. I'll be back in 3 days. Here's a couple things I know, or I believe. Yeah. Like I tell people, when you go to heaven, 3 things are going to surprise you. One is the people you thought were going to be there probably won't be. The people you didn't think were going to be there probably will be. And you're there. Yeah. See, I believe Millard and my childhood friend, Dennis, both good people, uh, will be there. I want to go because I want to see the look on their face. Yeah. Because I'm telling you who they don't expect to be there. Yeah. See, I know it says, and we who are alive it isn't we who are alive and remain will be caught up to it's not the caught up together, it's the landing. Let me tell you, see, um, and here's what they're going to be doing. Can it be? Wait a second. This is heaven, isn't it? Yeah. Think about it. So tomorrow, I want you to, well, the whole weekend, I want you to enjoy because somebody's already paid for it. I know it's not November, but November's coming. The way you say thank you, vote. If you don't know how to vote, ask me. If you don't want to vote the way I tell you to, don't vote. No. Yeah. I'm telling you, people, it's a privilege. You know, it's a privilege that our founding fathers said our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor. That's what Calvary's all about. That's what Memorial Day is about. But it was somebody's son. See, most people go to the wall and they see a bunch of names. Most people come to Calvary and they see Jesus and they don't realize what the Father must have gone. How could they do this to my son? What a high price to pay. So we're going to skip over the one that I got wrong. I know people, it's hard to believe I got something wrong. And we're going to go to more than just the name on the wall.
I saw her from a distance as she walked up to the wall. In her hand she held some flowers as her tears began to fall. And she took out pen and paper as to trace her memories. She looked up to heaven, and the words she said were these. She said, Lord, my boy was special, and he meant so much to me. And oh, I'd love to see him just one more time, you see. All I have are the memories and the moments to recall. So Lord, could you tell him he's more than a name on a wall? She said he really missed the family, being home on Christmas Day, and he died for God and country in a place so far away. I remember just a little boy playing war since he was 3. Lord, this time I know he's not coming home to me. She said, Lord, my boy was special, and he meant so much to me. And though I'd love to see him, but I know it just can't be. So I thank you for my memories and the moments to recall. But Lord, could you tell him he's more than a name on a wall? Lord, could you tell him he's more than a name on a wall?
See, I believe too many people wear crosses thinking it makes me look like something. It's more than just, it was somebody's son. It was somebody's son. Think of what he left. Like I said, I don't know of anybody who just back in the 60s, oh, it was crazy. You know, we went out to the left coast. You know, I told you before, we got married May 6th, May 12th. I left for a year. Uh, yeah, it was a crazy time. Yeah, but I wouldn't change it for anything. Do you have any regret? Do you regret you were there? No. No. I think one of the songs said, uh, "I have lived 9 lives." And it was just 21 where I turned 21. You know, uh, I'm telling you, people, appreciate it. Appreciate what was done for our country and appreciate what was done I believe Abraham says for a different country, who's builder and maker. What a privilege. So in November, well, before no, I want you to do early voting. Before November, I want you to honor this son. In November, you honor these sons. They give us freedom here on earth. He gives us eternal life. What a privilege to be in the United States. I mean, if you've never traveled outside of the United States, I know when we were on the left coast, we went down to Tijuana. TJ, going to TJ. Yeah. Kay couldn't wait to get back. Yeah, because there's no place like home. Then we went out to visit my son out in Arizona, and when he was going to school out there, and he wasn't far from Mexico, and our first grandson was born, and so we've gone out there. Uh, we were going out there to see the grandson. The others were just accoutrements, you know. But while we were there, we were going down. We said, "We'll go down to Mexico." Kay said, "I'll watch the baby. Y'all go." You know, I'm telling you, you can get some bargains down there. You know, but there's no place like the United States. I don't see anyone breaking into any other countries. You know, and nobody risked their life to break into Mexico. If they do, they're just. Somebody should write a song. This world is not my home. I'm just passing through. You know, it's just like when we go to Florida. We passed through. We didn't go to Bucky's. We passed through Bucky's. Yeah, because we have a destination. I'm telling you, there's nothing like the USA. Nothing. We should be thanking God every day. And Memorial Day is a reminder. People, are we perfect? I believe my Bible says there is none righteous, not one. No, we're not perfect. Have we made mistakes? The only people who don't make mistakes are people who don't do anything. I can remember when I used to ride my motorcycle, somebody said, "Have you ever fallen?" I said, "The only people that don't fall are the people who don't ride. Sooner or later. You know, sooner or later." You know, and I didn't stop riding because I can't ride. I stopped riding because I can't pick it up anymore. Yeah. If they made things on the side of the motorcycle that would lift it back up, I'd still be riding. And somebody said, "Well, why don't you get a trike?" I said, "I had one when I was 5. I don't need another. I don't need another one." Yeah. There's a difference between 2 and 3 wheels. Yeah. There's just a difference. There's a difference between the United States and everywhere else in the world. God bless the USA. So I'm going to have Eddie and Juanita, if they'll come up, and I want us all to. You're going to have everybody singing. Do we have the words? Okay. Now I'm going to turn my mic off because I love y'all. That was paid for our freedom. That will also serve as our benediction.
Everybody sing with
start again with just my children and my wife. Thank my lucky stars to be living here today, 'cause the flag still stands for freedom and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston and New York to LA. Well, there's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say that I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA.
Memorial Day celebration, whatever it be. Understand what we're about to watch is just a smidgen of the number. You know, I know it seems like a lot, but a high price was paid, you know, for this country. You know, way back from the Revolutionary War until today, there are sacrifices being made. So let's play the cemetery.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last whose broad stripes and bright stars through